Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you. I'd like to call to order the regular council meeting for the town of Didsbury for Tuesday, April 14th at 6 p.m. Excuse me. The first item on the agenda is the amended agenda.
I move that council adopt the agenda as amended.
Excellent. All in favor? Perfect. Motion is carried. Item 3 on the agenda, apologize, their number is delegations, and item 3.1 is M&P LLP, the 2025 audit report. If you'd like to come up and join us, that would be great.
Just have to push button.
Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Can everyone hear us good? Perfect. Audit report up first.
Oh, it's not here. You can
Just want me to speak to it? Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'll quickly go over kind of like our audit reports here. So just wanted to give some quick highlights here for the audit for the financial statements, and also I guess quick introductions here before I start. So my name is Sean Jones. I work for M&P and manager for the audit for Town of Didsbury, and this is Melissa Milne. She was the partner on the engagement for this, and also behind us is Cato, one of the preparers that was on the audit. So just wanted to highlight on here, just really quick overview. We do have a clean audit report this year, so really nothing for us to highlight, which is fantastic. That's what we like to see. There's a lot of work that goes into this audit, both on our end and from the Town of Didsbury staff. But basically, no real highlights here. You can see the basis for our opinion is an unqualified opinion. So what this basically means is we have no highlights to give. Like, there is no instances of, well, we can't be relied on to detect fraud necessarily. Like, nothing would have come up during our review. No issues with what was presented in the financial statements. Everything was clear and very concise in the financial statements. And that after today, once management gives the approval for the financial statements, then they will take it over, and and I believe afterwards they're going to give a presentation over the full financial statements where you can get questions of, if you're concerned over anything in there, you can feel free to jump in and ask questions. So, anything else we need to highlight? That pretty much covers off, again, there wasn't much to highlight on the actual audit report itself. So would anyone have any questions for us directly on maybe our audit or any procedures in our audit? No? Okay, then otherwise I think we can move that over to Amanda to the financial statement presentation.
Thank you. And so at this time, while management, which would be myself, is responsible for the preparation of the financial statements. So tonight I'm here to present to you a very high-level overview of the town's financial statements. And as Sean noted, that they're prepared to give an unqualified opinion on the financial statements, which is also known as a clean financial statement audit. So starting with the statement of financial position, this is a snapshot of the town's financial position as of December 31st, 2025. And this statement demonstrates the net financial assets for the town and the non-financial assets, as well as the accumulated surplus. So the town ended the year with net financial assets of $9.5 million. This is an increase of roughly $800,000 from the year before. So the fact that this is a positive number and it's trending upward indicates future sustainability for the municipality. It shows that the town has enough financial assets to cover its liabilities. And then in the lower part of the statement are the non-financial assets. And we ended the year with $65,413,000 in non-financial assets. And these are 98% made up of tangible capital assets. So that's everything from engineering structures to buildings to roads. It's the assets that are the basis for providing our services to the public. And then the final number on this page, that's our accumulated surplus of $74,964,000. And so while this looks like a large number, which it is, it's the majority of it is made up of the town's investment, again, in those capital assets. And looking at the remainder of it, most of it's in restricted surplus, which are our savings accounts or our reserve accounts, totaling $9.98 million. So those reserve accounts are the town's best defense kind of against future capital infrastructure maintenance needs or things that arise kind of outside of the plan. So also a good indicator of future sustainability. Moving on, the second statement you see is the statement of operations. And for those more used to private sector statements, that's this like an income statement. So revenues and expenses for the town for the year. So this is showing you what happened in different functional areas during 2025. So as you can see, the total revenue for 2025 was $13,597,000, and total expenses were $13,012,000. So the excess of revenue over expenses before the undernoted, or in other words, for our operations, was about $585,000. And you can also note that both the revenue numbers exceed our budget and the expenses were within the budget for the year. And then there was also government or transactions related to capital, and that shows the town's grants and other items that were invested in capital assets in the year, and that totaled $1.95 million. So again, that brings us down to an excess of revenue over expenses of $2.5 million. That would be the town's increase to accumulated surplus for the year. Moving to the next statement, there's two statements. The statement of changes in net financial assets. This provides a bit more detail of what exactly changed. I'm not going to go through that just for the sake of time. And then there's a statement of cash flows that again just provides more detail about where the cash transactions were for the year. But I will point out that of our $15.6 million in cash, 4.7 million roughly was restricted, and the remaining is our unrestricted cash balance. That means it's internally unrestricted, externally unrestricted, but internally these are the majority of that again is within our reserve balances. And at this time, I'm just going to jump down to the notes to financial statements. This is an area that outlines a lot in more detail about the financial transactions that occurred in the year. And specifically note 10 and 11, the long-term debt and debt limits. So long-term debt in 2025, we did take on $3.5 million for the East Reservoir project. And, but at the same time, we also made final payments on 2 other loans. So overall, we ended the year with $4.4 million in long-term debt. And looking at the schedule of repayment, we're actually going to see all of that debt except the East Reservoir loan drop off after the year 2029. So in the next 4 years, we're going to pay off the remainder of the loans except the East Reservoir. And as a municipality, we are governed by the Municipal Government Act, which sets out how much debt a municipality can have. And so I'll point out note 11, the debt limits note. And there's a calculation that the province provides that we cannot go over that much debt without approval. So we're at 21% of our debt limit. So we're well below the threshold for what is allowed within the municipality. Moving on to note 13, this is a more in-depth look at the accumulated surplus. And so as you can see, well, we have some in unrestricted surplus. We also have $9.98 million in restricted surplus, and those are all the reserve accounts, or as they're commonly known, savings accounts, which we have a policy that outlines what those can be used for. And then again, at the bottom there, the equity and tangible capital assets. So most of the accumulated surplus for the town is held within those capital assets. I will also just point out quickly in note 15, this is our net municipal property taxes note. And while we do collect taxes, total taxes of around $7.8 million for 2025. That is a combination of what we're collecting on behalf of other parties. So we collect on behalf of Alberta Education for school and like separate and public school funding, and that gets paid directly to the province once we collect it. And then we also pay an amount to Mountain View Seniors Housing, who provides seniors housing within the region. So those are called our requisitions, and we ended up, for municipal purposes, having taxes of $5,458,000 for 2025. So that's a split of only about 70% of every dollar we collect stays with the town. The remaining 30% is going towards Alberta School Foundation and Mountain View Seniors Housing. And then I'll also point out, just jumping down to the last page of the financials, the budget note, note 25. So the budget, as you know, council has to pass a balanced budget, so it would equal $0. And this note is just outlining that council did in fact approve a balanced budget of 0, and then we adjusted for it to get to $327,000, which you'll see on the statement of operations. These are adjustments to make the budget in the same financial reporting format as the financial statement. So again, council did approve that balanced budget in 2025. And then I'll just bring your attention to the very last note, which is the approval of the financial statement. So later in the agenda during the business item, if council is comfortable, we will ask you to approve the financial statements for the town. So at this time, we can ask council if there's any questions on the financial statement presentation or for our auditors. And I'll pass the floor back over to you, Mayor Little.
Thank you very much. I'll open up the floor to any comments, debate.
I just have a question on page 44 on the 2025 expenses under other and unallocated. Where can we find those numbers? Like, I'm new to this, so I don't know where to find that information. Just with all the other things are put into their different departments. Mm-hmm. So where would we find those numbers?
So you're asking what is the unallocated? Sorry,
yeah, like
through the chair.
What would some of those things be?
This is generally general administration, as well as legislative. So there's only like so much room on this table. As if you look on the statement of operations, it's actually broken out where you can see council and other legislative and administration separately. So those values are combined into that other unallocated.
Those ones will all add up to the 1.4 million that's there.
I believe they should, I'm just going from memory, but I'm just looking protective. Yeah, it looks like that.
Okay, yeah, I just didn't,
And then the tap, yeah, for expense purposes, yeah. Yep,
thank you very much.
you're welcome.
You just have to jog my memory. You said that 2 loans were paid off. What were those loans on at the time, I think?
So there was the RCMP station, which was, I believe, a 20-year loan. So that building was built 20 years ago. And then the other one was a land loan related to the land in Shaw's Crossing.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, I guess I'll just ask for the motion then, if I could. What do you, gentlemen?
Move to thank the representatives from MNP LLP for their presentation of the 2025 audit report and audited financial statements.
Thank you. All in favor? Motion is carried.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
That takes us on to item 3.2 of the agenda, which is another delegation from the Didsbury Golf Club. Would you like to make your way up and join us? Great, thank you.
Hello, my name is Jason Enns. I am the president of the Didsbury Golf Course. With me here is Sean Kidd. He is the vice president. And behind us is some of our members of the board. We're here to introduce ourselves and talk with you about the golf course. As you're aware, we have a current lease with the town of Didsbury that will be coming up for renewal in October of 2027. We want to inform you of our operations and how we have worked to maintain our local golf course to keep it active for the town and surrounding communities. Our board is managed by 14 volunteer members. We employ up to 12 local community members that work to run our course for the season of April to October. Our board members are also involved in committees that run and organize certain departments of the course. The current committees are operations, which run the day-to-day of the course, tournament, advertising, development, casinos, and grants. We have over 500 members, which consist of 160 junior members aged 5 to 17 years old. We host many tournaments every year that are all ran by this volunteer tournament committee. We eliminated the paid manager position, saving approximately $80,000 per year by creating a volunteer ran operations committee back in 2008. We are always working to upgrade and improve our course. And here's a list of some of the recent upgrades we have completed. We've done driving nets, we've done a breezeway, storage tents, junior tee boxes, putting green and nursery, new outhouses on the course, golf cart shelters for the members' carts, upgraded the maintenance shop with heat and insulation. We've rebuilt number 1 green, purchased new tables for the tournament room and the deck, and we've done many clubhouse upgrades, including painting, flooring, new roof, boiler, and etc. Our golf course is in current need of some upgrades in order to continue operating. We have an outdated septic system that is unable to keep up with the current traffic and the needs of our course. It's a major ongoing issue as the field is completely saturated, and as of last year we were unable to, it wasn't operating at all, so we were pumping it on a weekly basis. We need this to be able to be repaired or rebuilt in order for us to operate properly this year. Also, our parking lot needs to be expanded and upgraded in order to provide enough parking for golfers and to keep up with the fire code. For this season startup, we're currently upgrading our kitchen equipment. We've renovated our kitchen completely, upgraded our power supply from 100 amp to a 200 amp. We've installed new security cameras, and we are working towards leasing a new tractor, as our tractor last year piled up and we had to sell it. Moving forward, we're hoping to install irrigation. We would like to remove and plant new trees. We have our aging fleet of golf carts that we replace slowly, but they are definitely in need of replacing. And our deck is starting to rot from underneath a little bit, and it's going to need some renovations. Road maintenance is always a continued concern too, which I know the town has been helping us quite a bit with keeping that up. Over the years, we have been able to use funds from a volunteer ran casino that we get from an AGLC every 3 years. This helps our course with about $8,000 per year that we can put towards some of our ongoing projects. Our volunteers complete many of the work bees throughout the year to help with cleanup and a lot of these projects. Last year we had a major buildup from over the years consisting of trees and brush that needed to be removed from our course, and it was becoming a bit of a fire hazard. So we were quoted roughly $25K to remove plus disposal fees. As a volunteer group with members and board members, we trucked over 50 trailer loads of the deadfall out of the course, and one of our existing members took the deadfall to his personal property and disposed of it for us. This is an ongoing need as we have no place to dispose of our constant maturing trees that we need to remove. Last year with the volunteer help, we also dealt with stump grinding, trenching, cart path maintenance, and that was all done with equipment and of people, members of the course. And that was all with no extra cost also. We have a junior program that we've been sponsored through a charity fundraiser ran by a local auto repair shop, GT Performance, since 2010. And we have raised over $75,000 to go towards the junior program. With those funds we've raised, we've been able to purchase junior golf clubs, pole carts, at no extra cost to the junior members. We've provided free group summer lessons, built junior tee boxes, built driving nets, and been able to keep up our junior membership costs down. In this time, we have been able to build a growing junior program, sponsored many of our junior players, which have gone to win provincials and zones representing the town of Didsbury. So yeah, with that, with my board of directors, we're looking towards the future of our course and our lease with the town that is coming up for the renewal in October of 2027. We'd like to extend an invitation to all of you guys to come up to the golf course for an informative tour and dinner on May 7th, if it works. Where us as board members will be able to show you around. We can have more discussion about the lease and maybe working together to preserve our course for the town. With that, thank you for letting us present to the council, and we look forward to more communications and with you about the future of the DGC golf course. If you have any questions or...
I'll open up the floor. One thing that I always think that needs to be highlighted, and we don't talk about it enough, 160 junior golfers. That number to me is impressive. You guys have done a really good job there, and I think more kids play on that golf course than a lot of residents in this town understand. So we need to get those numbers out there. That's an impressive number, and thank you for what you do.
Yeah, thank you. We did have 5 when we started. So in 2010, we went from 5 to over 160 on average. We've had some a little higher and some years a little bit lower, but on average, we're around that 160. So.
I find it kind of startling that you have almost the same number of junior members that you have adult members. Yeah. Interesting. Any other questions for the bill?
Thanks for your report. And wondering, on the help from the town, do you have specifics in terms of tree grants, student grants, and equipment sharing, capital projects? Do you share equipment already, and are you wanting more of that, or can you be more specific on those?
Yes, so as far as the equipment sharing, it was something that we had talked about at the last presentation we had here, I think it was last year. It was a discussion, nothing's actually come about that yet, really, but we're wondering if there's anything that would be an option for us to, when it comes to like doing the tree pruning and stuff like that, we're paying quite a bit for that. If there's anything when it comes to skid steers or gravel or whatever, we're always looking for equipment from our members, where if there's a chance that we could have options to use a skid steer or mulchers or anything that would help benefit us, we would definitely and like to have that option, to be able to have that sharing.
Entertain that for sure.
What was the other ones? The summer grants, we've tried to get grants every year depending if on the year. Last year we didn't get any. The year before we got one, and a few years ago we did get two. I think it's two.
Yep.
Yeah.
Two. Yep.
It's one of those things we're not sure if we're asking the right things. We have a grant committee that would be willing to work with somebody if they could help us a little bit. Some of us are not aware of maybe where to look or how to ask, and maybe we're just not asking the right questions or filling out the forms properly. So for grants, that would be a big one if we could have somebody help us point us in a direction there on those.
You're referring to the community grants program?
Yes. Yeah.
And the other one was the tree grants. I mean,
Tree grants, yeah.
All of those trees are getting old and starting to rot, and I understand there are some programs where maybe we can double up with you guys and get some of these trees replaced and get something new in there, right? So, yeah. I think that was all of them that we had on that last slide.
Yeah, the trees, they were put in about, I think thinking back when we signed the lease in maybe 85, so they are becoming very at the end of their life, and it's becoming a lot of work to keep them up to date. And yeah. I guess the last thing would be the septic is the biggest thing that we were kind of hoping that we could maybe discuss some kind of means and ways of working with that one, because that's going to become a high cost for us, and we're not sure how we're going to come about that one to be able to even operate this year. We might have to put porta potties in until we can get something figured out. We're not quite sure, so which will really affect our situation up there.
I hope all those cottonwoods are running to the end of their life.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, just a question. As I sat in the gallery for the last decade, the entrance road has been pushed off and pushed off and pushed off. My question has to do with, is there a reason why that's not happening, being fixed with some good pavement? Is that because the school shares a responsibility for that? And is there problems there? Just how can that be resolved?
Well, we believe, what I've been told is it's shared three ways. It's the golf course entrance, it's the town entrance for getting to the water tower. I believe the Chinook Edge has their portion of it, and then there's the condo at the bottom of the hill that also accesses it. And I was told something about maybe that county had something up at the tower too, but I don't know if that's true or not. So there is quite a few different involved places that are everybody that's involved in it. So I don't know how they'd expect one to go after it. I think it would be after quite a few different people that would have to come and deal with that. So
could I ask the CEO maybe to provide a little information on that situation? Maybe through Greg? Sorry, Greg.
Good evening. Thank you for the questions. So the road that goes up to the gate is technically the town's land. It's our right of way, it's our road. Historically, it was paved some time back, and then we decided to put a bunch of gravel over top so that we could maintain it because the pavement was starting to fail. So similar situation as what we got on 23rd Street, where it became a non-maintainable road, so we gravelled it. What's that causing now is that we can keep moving the gravels around just fine when we get notified that there's potholes that have developed, and we've worked out a way for them to have access to us so they can request a grader to come out there as soon as we can possibly turn it around. That's worked out pretty well for both parties for the last couple of years, but yeah, I think there's ultimately a decision to be made about what we want to do with that road. And if we decide to take it on and fix it, we would just do the engineering design to support it so it would facilitate all the different stakeholders. If there's a desire to go after funding from other parties, that's something we could explore at that time. But at this point in time, it's not on the capital budget to be attended to, and not a project that would sort of originate out of my department. So I would ask you guys to consider what you want to see done there.
Okay. No, I was more curious as to how it's being maintained currently, so that answers that, I think. Thank you.
I haven't had the chance to make it up to the golf course yet, so all this is sort of new to me, but it sounds, first off, like I said, I'm really impressed, especially with the volunteer capacity of what you all have been able to accomplish. That's really impressive. And again, not having any first-hand knowledge and just taking it from what you say here, it seems like the septic issue is kind of the like number one bullet problem, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any sort of quotes or estimates of like what kind of costs you're looking at for that to have a replacement that would fit the needs appropriately, or have those questions not been asked yet?
We have had a little bit of conversation with that, but we have not had any assessments made or any. Nobody's actually come out and done the final, done an actual assessment on what's going on. I know that we have, from what we understand, that the building, the maintenance of everything going to the septic system is good. It's where it goes from there to the field is where the issue is at, and we believe that it's due to the fact that it's probably over 40 years old, and it's probably just at its end of its lifespan. So, yeah. Yep.
Okay. Any further? Okay. Will, if you don't mind.
Thank you.
I move to thank the Didsbury Golf Club for their presentation and accept it as information.
All in favor? Motion is carried.
And I move to direct administration to commence discussions with the golf club to review the existing lease and develop a framework for future golf course operations.
Well, all in favor? Motion is carried. Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys coming in and
Speaking to us, it's something that we all like to see continue on.
Thank
so
you.
We'll be in touch and good luck with things going around.
Perfect. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
All right, that takes us to item 4 on the agenda, which is the adoption of the minutes from our last regular council meeting. If I can get a motion on that, please.
I move that council adopt the minutes of the March 24th, 2026 regular council meeting.
All in favor? Motion is carried. That takes us to item 4.2, which is the addition to the agenda, which is the special council meeting minutes from March 31st. If I can get a motion on that as well.
I move the council adopt the special council meeting minutes of March 31st, 2026.
Excellent. Sorry, before we proceed, Will, was there something? Oh, here, okay, perfect, excellent. All right, all in favor? Motion is carried. It's all good. Okay, that takes us to item 6 on the agenda, the CAO report. Everyone's had a chance to review that? Yes? Okay, I'll ask for the motion and then we'll open the floor for
I move to accept the CA, Chief Administrative Officer's report for April 14th, 2026 as information.
Okay. I'll open the floor to any questions or comments.
So in an ongoing effort to learn the best way to broach questions, I've got a couple that are sort of directed to administration as a whole. I was looking for so in speaking with the community, both at the trade show as well as in some other at the engagement sessions a few months ago or last month, I suppose. Just had some questions from the community that I was hoping to get just an update on. The first one is simply just a status update on the tree grant RFP. I'll start with that one, I guess.
Okay.
Thank you for the question. So the tree grant has been approved by the federal government. We've received authorization to proceed. We were hoping to get it done for the spring. Things being what they are, we missed that window. And so at this point in time, we're waiting till probably mid-summer to go out to market for the RFP and look for fall planting.
Thank you. And the other one that I have requested is an indication on the viability of a water spigot in or near the Didsbury Cemetery for the purpose of residents who have relations that they wish to take care of, plants, flowers, etc.
Did you want to take that one too?
Sure. Thank you for that question. The viability is kind of a hard thing to jump to, basically because our cemetery bylaw prohibits the planting of flowers or ornamental, pretty much anything, pretty much because the purpose of the cemetery is a perpetual maintenance obligation of the town, and we can really only perpetually maintain grass. So any special plantings and things like that are actually prohibited. So I think if I was to look for some clarification, I would need direction from council to proceed with it regardless, and with the expectation that you would be reviewing the bylaw for perceived changes. So if council wishes for that to proceed to like an estimating phase, I'd certainly be happy to do that, but I'd be seeking direction for that.
No problem. I was at this point sort of a matter of curiosity, but thank you. Appreciate the answers.
Does everyone? Yeah. Okay. Any other comments, questions?
I have several.
You have several. Okay. Go ahead, Councilor. Keep it under 20. That would be great.
I see the RV sandy dump design and construction has a line there. I believe that's on this report on the CAO. And just wondering, because there's current funds in each of the past quarters, is that an ongoing project, or has it been completed, or is it moving, or what's happening to that?
Go ahead.
Thank you for that question. I believe it's in the quarterly report, but the design of the sanitary lift station or sanitary dump station is in progress right now. Previously, administration was directed to investigate a pay-as-you-go system. Administration has information on that, and we'll be bringing back more of a fulsome report back to you for further guidance, because they are fairly expensive and it creates an operating challenge going forward, but I'd be happy to bring that back. So as right as it stands right now, it's been designed. We have contracts in play that I would change order to get the work executed, pending further instructions from council, which will be coming forth in another council meeting.
Okay, thanks. And what is our budget for the lateral lines and connections to the East Reservoir? And what does the Mountain View Regional Water Services Commission pay or own? I know that on page 63, it says the town has entered into an agreement with the Mountain View, the Regional Water Service Commission, with respect to the contributions towards a lateral water line project. The approximate payment to the commission in 2026 year amounts to $597,000. What is our total cost in the final end to our lateral line supply, our supply line?
Thank you. So I'll answer in regards to the budget. It's that $597,400. That's what the town's committed to for the installation of the lateral line. The line is owned and maintained and would remain that way once built by the commission, but the town is responsible for that cost. That's not the full cost of the project. The commission was successful in getting a AMWWP grant for it, which pays, do you remember the percentage? 42% of the project. And we pay the rest.
Are we, just ask the chair, are we into page 27? Is that part of your, the report? Yeah. Yes? So on page 27, the revenue government actual is 203% of the budget, adjusted for amortization. Can you explain that, please?
Sorry, and you said page 27?
I believe that's my note, but,
And
Okay.
what line on page
I
27 are you inquiring about, Norm?
sure.
I think I found it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and just also noting on page 28, there's a note at the bottom, amortization is not budgeted for, if you can include that in the explanation.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Okay, so it looks like you're asking specifically about the general government revenue line. And so included in that line, it's at 203% of budget at year end, because we had some sales of properties, and that would be included in that line item. They didn't really fit into any other department. And so that's that revenue question. And the note on the bottom of page 28. So what I'm saying is, we don't budget for amortization, nor are you allowed to budget for amortization. But amortization is included in our year-to-date financials. So in order for you to have a clear comparison of the expenses, I've just broken that out so you can compare apples to apples, because amortization is significant. So if I would have left that in, you would have either shown it way over budget, or you're just not comparing to the same number. So I've broken that out just for transparency purposes.
That's all, Norm? Okay, excellent. Any other questions or comments on the CEO report before we move on? Okay, excellent. I'll put it to a vote. All in favor of the motion? Motion is carried. Thank you very much, everyone. Excuse me. That takes us to agenda item number 8. And that's item 8.1, sorry, pardon me. The 2025 audited financial statements. Everybody's had a chance to review them. Does anybody have any further questions based on CFO's conversation earlier? No? Okay, so if I could just get a motion on this, that would be great. Thank you, Will.
I move that council approve the 2025 audited financial statements as presented.
All in favor? Excellent. Motion is carried. Thank you very much. Okay, that takes us to item 8.2, which is the CESD Joint Use and Planning Agreement. I know we reviewed this once before, and we wanted to have some more time to review it. Are there further questions that anyone's come back with? Troy, you're good?
I would just say thanks for all the hard work of putting that together. It made it really clear and showed the differences between the old one and the new one, and so thank you very much.
Thank you, Troy. Anyone here? No? Okay, excellent. I'll just ask for a motion on that then. Somebody wants to? Oh, no, I thought you were putting your hand up. I'm sorry. You are, okay. Yeah, no. Go ahead.
Move to enter into the joint use and planning agreement with Chinook's Edge School Division as presented.
Excellent. All in favor? Motion is carried. Thank you. Okay. Item 8.3, the Municipal Policing Committee appointments. Everybody had a chance to review all those and okay. You know what, I'm just going to open the floor for discussion first and then we'll get the motion afterwards, if that's okay. Are there any comments or questions for anyone? You're still scrolling? Okay, we'll give everybody a minute. Here, do you want? Here.
Okay, I'm on page 14.
You're a little behind. All right, I'll open up the floor. Is there questions on who we're reviewing? Still working on it?
No, I'm coming.
Okay, all right.
I know there was a recommendation for some people, and after reviewing, one that sticks out to me that maybe should be considered, and of course that's up to council obviously, was Gary Weens.
And similar thoughts.
So that's just something that I would like to put out there that I knowing Gary, I think it would be a good committee for him to be on, but I don't know who to not put on there in place is my, they're all good. I just needed to bring that one to someone's attention.
Well, I'll tell you what I was told once upon a time, to not come forward with a problem if you don't have a solution in mind already.
But I've got part of the solution.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time, sir. I apologize. So does anyone want to, maybe we should open up the floor a little bit more? These a little bit more closely. Go ahead.
I'm happy with these four. I don't know all of them, but I know two of them, and I think they're a good fit for the committee. This also in light of the fact that this is a new committee, and part of the groundwork that's going to be done on this committee will help inform for the rest of the committee's work as it goes through, because there's a lot of groundwork that's needed by the committee, but I'm okay with the four that are there.
Is there
Question that I think is also relevant because at some point in the discussion we'll also have to determine a counselor to appoint to this as well. Something I'm curious about is what is the regularity that this committee will be meeting? Do we have that data?
Unclear, but it's not something that's meeting every month. It might meet twice a year. I'll say twice for now. Quarterly would be busy for this committee, but some of the tasks they have ahead of them are pretty high-level stuff and wouldn't be one of the kind of orders of business that you're going to get to on a regular basis. So not overly involved at this point is my first submission to council on that.
Is there, as part of the policy that this is based on, is there a limit to the number of members at large that we can have?
Yes, the bylaw stipulated 4
Sorry,
members at
pardon me.
large.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. The bylaw stipulated 4 members at large and
Okay.
2, or was it 1, Jocelyn? 1 member of council, yes.
Okay. Well, we either have to make a wholesale change or move ahead as planned, so I'm open to ideas.
Just a note, Mr. Chair, the term limit is 2 years, so if Mr. Weens was not successful based on the council's choice of the candidates, the opportunity does come up again in 2 years' time for Mr. Weens to reapply for an appointment as a public member.
Erwin, any thoughts?
That's the same thing I don't know who I would change out.
Look, when I saw the list, my immediate thought was, yeah, that Gary should be on there. Like, it just made sense to me, given his level of involvement in the community. And can you pass those back to me?
Okay.
Well, while everyone's thinking, can I give them something else to think about? We as Will alluded to, we need to select a counselor. And before I put someone's name out there, because I think everyone on here is capable of being on this committee, who would be available for it?
I think it depends when the committee was going to meet and what the frequency was, but I think as the CAO pointed out, it's not a very frequent meeting. So, did someone want to put their hand up? You have time? Okay. All right. Yeah. I know you had indicated at one point that you were interested, so.
But I think I'm getting just too busy with.
Okay, all right. No, I'm not trying to push you into it.
No, yeah, I think that thanks for the option.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I'm okay with Troy doing it. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, he's got the time.
I am too.
I don't want to spread myself too thin.
I know.
So, on the other side of things, I would say, does anybody else feel the same way about Mr. Weens that knows him? Yeah.
I think he might have a little bit more board experience than one of the others.
Maybe we should, don't write on your monitor, it's not great for us. We need a suggestion as to who we're gonna remove. I have one, but
I would suggest Robin Hawkins.
that's who I'm leaning towards too. How's everybody else feel about that? Here in the group?
I don't know. That's.
We're just looking at experience.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
Mr. CAO, can I ask for some advice as to how to proceed with the motion on that then?
We just changed the name if it's council's pleasure to insert Gary where Robin was initially placed in our recommendation. Yep.
Okay, perfect, thank you. All right, if I could get the motion then from maybe Councilman Murray, if you wouldn't mind. You know what both are, right? Yeah. Okay.
Move move to appoint the following members at large to the Municipal Policing Committee for the term commencing April 15th, 2026 and ceasing on April 15th, 2028, conditional upon the completion of successful enhanced security check. Colin Creighton, Natalie Craig, Fred Van Vliet, and Gary Means.
All in favor? Motion is carried, thank you.
Motion to appoint Councillor Lambert to the Municipal Policing Committee for a term commencing April 15, 2026 and ceasing on April 15, 2028, conditional upon completion of a successful enhanced security check.
Excellent.
Anything we need to know for it?
We'll find out at the chat.
Okay.
Nicely played. All in favor of the motion?
You vote.
I think you can vote for yourself.
You can't vote for yourself, how can we?
Motion is carried, thank you. All right. That takes us to item 8.4, which is the Mountain View Regional Film Office. Everybody had a chance to review that. I'll open up the floor to discussion before we get the motion, just in case there's concerns. Go ahead.
Just edit typo on page 144. Council accepted the development plan as information June 24th, 2025, not 2026, because that hasn't happened yet.
Yep, so noted.
Thank you.
Missed that one, sorry guys.
Thanks, Councillor Quantz, appreciate it. Any other concerns, questions? Doesn't appear to be. All right.
Yeah, I think the selection here is good.
I think so too.
So,
Yep, I think so. I'll ask you for the motion then, if you don't mind, Kurt.
Okay. I move the council approve sending Alicia Bruce as Didsbury's representative of the Mountain View Regional Film Office to the 2026 Banff World Media Festival, June 14th through 17th, 2026.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. All in favor? Motion is carried. That takes us to item 8.5, which is the Maple Leaf Exchange Program for 2027 with the Miki Town. I'll give a little kind of synopsis here. I think most people in town are probably familiar that we have an exchange program where students come here as part of an international immersion program to learn about different cultures, etc. And they're looking for us to do this in 2027. I think the commitment today is just to add this to the budgeting process, the cost for it. But I personally have some concerns about the process involved because it requires us to get housing for 10 students in town with families. Otherwise, it becomes the responsibility of the town to care for those children while they're here and get them to and from school, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Just to address that, this has been running for a lot of years, and they're always hosted. There's no problem getting host families for them. We've had the exchange students at our house, and it's a very well received program. So that would not be a concern of mine.
what's the term that they actually come here for?
It's 1 week, isn't it?
Honestly, being my first time here with this one, I'm not entirely sure of the timeline, but Nicole will take it.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for the question I wasn't expecting. So yeah, Miki Town, as Councillor Engel mentioned, has been running for many, many years. Feedback issues, sorry. And so typically they come, I think, for about 5 days. It starts with a welcome party that's hosted by us, the town, in the NPR. They do some time with the students at West Glen as part of, experiencing what it's like to be at a Canadian school. They'll do a bunch of activities. Sometimes we host them at the complex. They often will go for bonfires and things that are not naturally activities that they take part in Japan in. And then at the end of their visit, they host a sayonara party. So they treat all of the host families as well as the dignitaries that are in attendance to a meal that's provided by them with their customs, and it's a really nice experience.
Interesting. Okay.
Just a question concerning the paragraph on page 145, where it talks, the second last paragraph, that's typically been $5,000 for the rental of the NPR, advertising gifts, and then in addition in 2025, retained a contractor to assist in planning of 5,000. So is this motion, will this be approving $10,000 towards it?
Through the chair, no typo, it was $1,000 for the contractor, and I believe that was rolled into the $5,000 budget overall. So what we would be asking council to do would be to give us the go-ahead to just include this in the fall budget discussions at an amount of about $5,000. Yeah.
Because this is until 2027, Norm, we're just basically approving it to come forward.
Just some additional information from my CFO that the actuals on that, the budget was $5,000 last go around, but we only spent about $3,800. But you know, a little extra just in case to make sure everything's good for the kids. So, experience-wise.
Yeah. That's fair. Any other questions? No? Okay. If I could ask for the motion then, please. Norm?
I move to approve hosting the 2027 Mickeytown delegation and bring forward $5,000 for program costs to be considered by council during the 2027 budgeting process later this fall.
Thank you, sir. All in favor? Motion is carried. That takes us to council reports, of which there are a couple. Everybody had a chance to review these. Do we want any more additional information on them? Or other reports, yes. Other, I guess, oral reports? Doesn't appear that way. No? Okay, I'll just ask for the motion then, please.
I move that council accept the April 14th, 2026 council reports as information.
All in favor? Excellent. Motion is carried. Thank you very much. Okay, that takes us to correspondence and information. We do have a packet of correspondence that was included with the meeting information. Everybody's had a chance to review that. And is there questions or comments that anybody has on it? Doesn't appear to be. All right, so I'll just ask for a motion on the correspondence, please. Okay. Oh, sorry. As soon as I look away, Norm.
I move to accept the correspondence for April 14th, 2026 as information.
Thank you, sir. All in favor? Motion is carried. Okay. That takes us to item 11 on the agenda, which is question period. If anyone in the gallery has anything that they'd like to come up and speak to council about, now's the time.
That's right. Okay.
Welcome. If you could just give us your name, that would be great.
Good evening, councillors. My name is Vanessa Lee. At this time, you have received 2 letters from me, one to the council and one to the CAO. And I figured it was time that I address you all in person and put a face to a name. Though a few of you may have met me before from my work at the library and from my time at on the board of MVCals. In my letter to the CAO, I provided a transcript of Mayor Little's statement on March 24th, alongside the wording of Bylaw 2026-08, and identified potential discrepancies in how the bylaw's scope was characterized. I also noted specific instances during that council meeting where the mayor's conduct towards members of the public and other council members could reasonably be perceived as dismissive. In response from the administration, I was advised that while council may review concerns, there is no formal mechanism to assess or respond to councillor conduct, even when supported by documented evidence due to amendments made to the Municipal Government Act in 2025, which repealed the Town of Didsbury Code of Conduct. I understand that explanation from a procedural standpoint. However, public trust relies not only on formal mechanisms, but also on transparency, accountability, and how elected officials engage with the public and with other members of office. With that in mind, I would appreciate Council's reflection on whether the characterization of the bylaw and the conduct observed at the Council meeting on March 24th align with the standards and expectations Council holds for itself in practice, and how Council intends to address this going forward. Thank you for your time.
Anyone else in the gallery have any questions, comments? No? Okay. We will move on to item number 12, which is our closed meeting. So I'll ask the gallery clear out, unless you're part of that. And we'll get a motion, please.
I move that council go into closed at 7:06.
Excellent. All in favor? Motion's carried.
motion to come out of close at 9:50.
Excellent. All in favor of the motion? Motion is carried. Thank you very much. I guess we just need one more motion.
Two.
Two, pardon, no,
Mr. Chair.
Three, sorry, pardon me. Two for what you're talking about, yes.
Yes. You've got the motion for renewing. You want to read that one out?
I'll take it.
To extend the exclusive seller agreement with Jesse Argueta until the end of August 2026.
All in favor? Motion is carried. Mr. Engel, please. Yep. Irwin?
To approve entering into a real estate service agreement with Jesse Argueta, agent with Real Broker for 2134 22nd Street.
Thank you. All in favor? Motion is also carried. And then we just need one final one.
I motion we adjourn council at 9:51.
All in favor? Motion is also carried.
Thank you very much, Councilor.